Hello, readers, and thank you for joining me for Lesson 2. In Lesson 1 of our Morpheme Matrices, we looked at adding the prefixes re, in, and d to the word form. Today, we're going to look at something else. We're still working with the base word form. And of course, this week, our skill is learning about words that we can create from the root word form. And as you remember before, I hope, form means to shape or create. Form is a free root, which means form by itself is a word. It can stand on its own. Root words can have affixes added to them to create a new connected word. Affixes are things like prefixes or suffixes. In Lesson 1, we added some prefixes. Today, we're going to add some suffixes. Of course, prefixes go at the beginning of a word and suffixes go at the end. So when you add a prefix and or a suffix to a word, you slightly change the meaning to a more precise definition. Today we're going to practice adding some suffixes to our root. Now today's lesson might be a bit simple because these are some suffixes that you probably have a lot of familiarity with. You probably know what these mean. And these are all have to do with verb tense. We're going to add the suffix s, which is a plural, or it changes the verb tense. We're going to add the suffix ed, which changes the past tense. And we're going to add ing, which is also a present verb tense. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's give it a try. If I have form and I add s, what's our new word? Forms, that's right. What does it mean to have forms? It can be a plural or it can be a verb tense. As a verb, form means to create a shape. In a sentence, water forms ice when it gets very cold. That would be the verb. As a noun, we filled out the forms for our teacher. Let's try another one. This time, let's add ed. Now, when I add ed, it's going to be a verb, and it's going to change it to past tense, which means it's already happened. What's our new word going to be? Formed, that's right. What does formed mean? As a verb, formed means that a shape was made in the past, or something was created in the past. In a sentence, you might say the rain formed a big puddle on the playground. And that's using it as a past tense verb. Next and last, we're going to take the word, our root form, and we're going to add ing. Again, form means to shape or create. Ing is a present tense verb. When I add those together, what's our new word? Forming, that's right. And what does forming mean? As a verb, forming means that you're creating a shape. In a sentence, you might say the kids are forming a line to go into the classroom. Now, we're going to go into our silent blending like we did in Lesson 1, except this time we're going to take words that have our root and maybe a different prefix, and we're going to add these suffixes to it. See if you can say these words as soon as we get done. So I'm going to click through. When the word's there, say it out loud. I'll do this. Be quiet, and I'll pull it down when you can say the word. Let's get started. Conforming. Preforms. Reformed. Uniforms. Deformed. Performing. Multiforms. Transforming. informed. Now again, like we said in lesson 1, if you don't know what these words mean, you know what the root is, you know what the prefix is, you know what the suffix is. Can you put what you know to figure out the meanings of these words? You might need to look up and see what some of the prefixes mean. But either way, thanks for sticking through to the end. Until next time, happy reading.